We'll see if they're able to do that as the draft is just about to start. We're going to be on Cursed Hall, and there we go. The draft has begun, guys. First pick, first ban, going to be on Bob Ross Fan Club.
Murlocs did have a strategy. They had a strategy for the last game. It's just that so did Bob Ross. They knew how to counter that with very creative drafting and the deep hero pool that you talked about for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bob Ross, I've seen them run so many heroes throughout their scrims. I mean, compositions that you wouldn't normally see other teams run. And it's not even just like these unique, cheesy things. They just like to run, you know, semi-popular heroes, and they'll throw them in any composition, but I have never seen them run Hammer, but they ran that perfectly.
They did. And now, as the draft unfolds, we have Zagara being banned from Bob Ross Fan Club and the ban on Tyrande, of course, from Murloc Geniuses as the second pick team. Zagara, a big favorite for Murloc Geniuses, so it makes a lot of sense, but Muradin once again going to be the first pick for Bob Ross. Murloc Geniuses respond with Kael'thas and Uther.
Bit surprised to see the Uther this early from Murloc Geniuses, as they do let both the Bruisers through Thrall and Sonya. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Sonya pick up here from Bob Ross. McIntyre yesterday playing impeccable on Sonya.
You could definitely see a Bruiser there. Likely, if they wanted to get their support, if they're concerned about Murlocs banning out the pool there, banning another one and limiting, but if that's not a concern for them, I also could see them leaving it until later on in the draft, knowing that they're safe now. Murlocs has already spent one of their two very important picks before that second set of bans on that Uther.
Well, to see what Bob Ross is going to pick up. I mean, I would not be surprised if we saw Sonya or Thrall. They love getting McIntyre on those Bruisers. I mean, when I talked to McIntyre before the event, he said one of the things that he thinks sets him aside from other players is his ability to just react and go for a fight. He's not afraid to just dive in and force an initiation. And Sonya is great at that, and there it is. Sonya and Jaina picked up.
Such an aggressive composition already coming out from Bob Ross, having the Jaina to be able to slow down targets if they're able to catch them out, allowing Sonya and Muradin to come and catch up with their stuns too, to be able to take out anybody they might find.
We'll see what the ban will be from Murloc Geniuses. They can still deny a support. Karazim doing wonders that game for Bob Ross, as they did have Kenma on him. Kenma been fantastic on him all weekend.
Yeah, I think the support ban could definitely be where they want to go with that. Potentially another damage too, if that's the concern as well, and then they know that they have two picks of their own where they can get everything that they want. Likely Bob Ross could choose to ban a warrior, but you know, they didn't last time, and then still
Tassadar.
Murlocs went for, okay, Tassadar makes a lot of sense.
I like the Tassadar ban here, you know, more than likely. The Tassadar fits really well with the Sonya, you know, just keeping her shielded up, keeping her topped up as well as you can, you know, as she's diving in deep, going for those big whirlwinds. The longer you can keep McIntyre alive, the better off you're going to be. But a ban coming out from Bob Ross Fan Club, do they want to potentially deny the Thrall from Equinox?
That could be a consideration if that is what they're worried about, and they want to limit that, force Equinox onto a different Bruiser if Murlocs want to go that route, like the Kerrigan. But then again, they banned the Kerrigan because it was, you know, the best. It's a comfort pick for Equinox.
Yes, Equinox was one of the original Kerrigan mains that you would see him play 90% of games, to the point where teams would just auto-ban Kerrigan versus Equinox. And I can't see the actual ban just yet there. We'll see what it is in just a moment there. Murloc Geniuses with their next two pickups. And it is the Kerrigan. They do deny Equinox his comfort pick. Good call, Gilly.
Thank you, Zoya. Now 2 picks for Murloc Geniuses left. Maybe we'll see Equinox go ahead and pick up that Thrall if he's feeling comfortable on that. It is still available, and it's interesting to see him moving down. You know, for a while, a lot of games yesterday, we were having him in the first couple of picks for teams.
We'll see what Murloc Geniuses is going to lock in here. Vala's going to be a nice pickup here. We've seen Equinox play him last game. We know Cosmolux has been a big fan of Vala for a very long time, so we'll see what their next pick's going to be. They can still potentially lock in that ETC, and there he is.
ETC will be a nice change to them, or for them from last time, a much tankier warrior than Tyrael, and the fact that he has that self-healing. He can even provide extra heals to his team if he thinks that would be necessary to help out Uther with the groupies later on.
Last 2 picks here for Bob Ross Fan Club. They need their support. They need potentially another damage. We could see the Sylvanas come up here, and Nozuna's a big fan of Sylvanas on this map, as you can push so much harder with those 2 bosses. You know, even if you don't have the curse up, Sylvanas gets mad value on this map, and they still need that support. We've seen a lot of supports play this week, and we've seen a lot of Lieutenant Morales. We've seen some Rhaegar there. It will be the Karazim, though. I mean, Kenma not afraid to play Karazim without the Tassadar pseudo support. Right.
They won't have the extra shield on the heroes from Call's Embrace, but they will have shields from carapace.
Wow, really cool here from Bob Ross. I mean, Fan, for the longest time, Cloud9 could not figure out how to deal with Abathur. And then they added Fan to their team, one of the best Abathurs in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And they learned how to deal with it. And guess what? Bob Ross has Fan on their team now. So happy to see Fan busting out the Abathur again. This is going to be a really cool game.
This is such a good composition for Abathur, too. They have Jaina to clone.
Yes.
They'll be able to have the double Jaina for all of that damage. They can put, of course, the symbiote on top of Sonya. Oh, man, this is a great, and it's just Cursed Hollow is great for Abathur, too.
Yes, mines are so
such a good
clutch. You can see the
draft.
global mine build there, where you're constantly putting in these chokes, constantly dismounting people as they're trying to rotate it around the map. Last pick from Murloc Geniuses is going to be Sylvanas.
Okay, once again, going for the triple ranged strategy. Not something that we see a whole lot from the Murlocs. They're trying to do something different. They think they have a plan, and they have to win here, or they're going to be out of the tournament.
Yeah, this is their tournament life on the line here. They have a pretty standard triple range composition here. You got a lot of push with Sylvanas. We saw great shot calling from Equinox on this map yesterday versus Tempo Storm. They almost were able to secure themselves the win of that game as they secured themselves a lot of great rotations, and they got that early double boss versus Tempo on this map. So we'll see if that can win them this game. I mean, this is not too out of the ordinary comp from Murlocs. They just have to play it right.
Yeah, they have a lot of their comfort picks on top of that too. Fury, of course, can play so many of the different heroes, but then you have Kael'thas for Faye, unless she plays Sylvanas. But a lot of the times, she and Cothenluck are able to switch back and forth between a lot of those ranged, and we got to see last game that Equinox is capable on Vala.
Well, guys, we are loading into the game now. Cursed Hall is the map. Murloc Geniuses with tournament life on the line. They have to win this match or they are going to fall out of the tournament. Bob Ross Fan Club is going to be here trying to win it out. On the right-hand side of the map, it is Bob Ross Fan Club. Zuna on Jaina. Kenma on the Karazim. Urho playing the Muradin. McIntyre on Sonya. And Fan rounding out the team on his favorite pick, Abathur.
Hope he does the worm. But on the other side, they need your cheers more than ever. It is Murloc Geniuses with Equinox on Vala, Cothenluck playing Kael'thas, Faye on Sylvanas, Fury playing ETC, and rounding it out, Mad Timmy once again on Uther.
Mad Timmy with that Money Pig. Back from the Symbiote Gaming days when the Money Pig first came out, that's what they were known for riding. All 5 members would always rep the Money Pig in those games, and we'll see if it's going to help Mad Timmy out in this matchup.
That Sugar Plum Fairy Sylvanas skin is so pretty too. I love that skin.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites as well. And we're going to be seeing the W build coming out from Faye as well. One of my personal favorites. It allows you to poke down the enemy's forts very easily. It's surprised how much damage you can actually do with that, just sieging down a fort.
And of course, later on too, it means that the cooldown will be reduced on the vulnerability once you can get the Cold Embrace at level 16.
We have a party bush here from Kenma, Urho, and Zuna waiting for Cothenluck, Mad Timmy, and Faye to show themselves. They're going to aggressively rotate and try and get a pick. Mad Timmy with the Wave of Light does not reveal anyone there. Nice positioning. The Stormbolt does not actually connect with Mad Timmy, though, and he's going to be just fine.
Ooh, I was a little scared for Uther there, but Timmy able to get away from that. Fan, meanwhile, doing his strategy of sitting out in the lane, looking very enticing, but of course, going to start putting a Toxic Nest around him later on as he does this too. Trying to maybe bait someone just a little bit far forward so that his team can rotate in and get the pick on whoever tries to take him down.
That's what Urho and Zuna are waiting for, is the call that Fury is going deep for the kill on the Abathur. It can be very, very tempting to go for this kill on Fan here, as Abathur, one of these squishies, probably actually the squishiest hero outside of Murky in the game. So trying to bait him in there so Zuna and Urho can rotate up for those kills.
He does have an awesome attack though.
Yes, the Slapathur for the win here. We won't be seeing Fan do, hopefully meleeing too much this game, though, as we do see that he finally locks in his level 1 talents. He's going to be going for the Mine build.
Yeah, he's got the Envenom Nest. Sometimes with the Mine build, you still see Survival Instincts. We saw that yesterday with the increased health and duration on the Locust, but this one is going to mean that the nests do more damage, 75% over a few more seconds after the initial hit.
Oh, good, nice read there from Equinox. You know, they did not know where Zuna was for a very long time there. He sent a multi-shot down and did reveal that Zuna was there. So Zuna not getting much out of these rotations quite yet here. And Murloc Geniuses doing a good job, and they're going to be the first team to hit level 4. That's
perfect for them as they're starting to work on taking out this tower. They have the Sylvanas here, so whenever they can look for this, they will. Airhill, they come out. Here comes the rotation from Zuna. Gravity Labs goes on top of him into a Flame Strike. Zuna getting incredibly low, but a great rotation from Kenma to save the day.
Yeah, that rotation from Kenma was so very clutch there, and Zuna still almost went down to the W from Faye as well as the Living Bomb from Cothenluck. Murloc. Really good job there from Murloc Genius applying the pressure, but man, you gotta hand it to Kenma there for being able to read what was going on, rotate down, and save his teammate.
Yeah, that was very clutch, breath of heaven to save him. And as we have these level 4 talents for both teams, we're going to see a tribute starting to spawn right now.
Yep, tribute spawning in the top center of the map here where Equinox and McIntyre are, and we've seen Murloc Geniuses on this map before. They're willing to just send everyone up to this top lane to stall out, and they've got great stall with Vala, Uther, and Kale Thos, and what they're going to do is leave Faye in the bottom lane to push.
Yeah, and they have it great, right? They have the increased range on multi-shot for Vala. They have the increased range on the Holy Radiance. On top of that, too, there goes the multi-shot to delay. Fury now going to come in, too. They have more range on Power Slide, too. There goes the Hungering Arrow on top of that. But Vala could be in a heap of trouble. Does get hit by a Blizzard. Now they're trying to turn this on Arrow, though. Has the symbiote will go down.
First blood to Murloc Geniuses. Fury getting very low, and the fight is being turned. And this was a 4 versus 5. You have to keep in mind, Abathur Hat does help out in this fight. They're trying to re-engage. Wave of Light goes down the Zuna. Flame Strike doesn't connect. And Murloc Geniuses, despite not having Faye, they might be able to win this tribute.
This is a beautiful stall. As long as they're not going down, Sylvanas is doing so much to the bottom. And in fact, they had to move Abathur out from that lane too. He's now going to be soaking in mid. Meanwhile, they're still delaying this, delaying from Bob Ross being able to pick up this tribute, and now they've picked up their level 7 talents.
Equinox
as well.
going for Fan. He gets the vault in. He's on top of the Abathur, and the Fan goes down. Abathur is dead. Big pickup there from Equinox, but now they're collapsing on Mad Timmy and Fury. Mad Timmy trying to rotate around, gets stunned by Urho. Will he get the Dwarf Toss? He does. Body block him down, and Mad Timmy is going to fall.
What a great read from both teams, being able to see that it was one less person here as Cawthon goes to mid to pick up the Abathur, but a great read to see that the Locusts were there in mid and a pickup from Equinox on Vala.
Really, really good job there from Murloc Geniuses. They did not get the tribute, but they have secured themselves a 1-level lead right now, and they're going to need to keep that momentum. They cannot fall behind versus this Sonya Abathur composition. If you let that snowball too hard, you're going to have a tough time in the late game. So good job so far, as they do have that experience lead.
Yeah, the lanes are really pretty far apart on this battleground, so even into the late game, even if they're not too far behind, that split push is still going to be a concern and something they have to keep on their mind at all times. And in this bottom lane, they've done a great job. Faye nearly taking out that fort. It's got it down to about halfway of its health already.
Zuna tried to get the dismount as Urho rotated down, but not going to be able to secure that. We're going to be seeing full mine build again from Abathur, and we're going to be seeing the Frostbolt build coming out from Jaina.
You mind checking if it's Guitar Hero at level 7 for ETC?
No, just keep rocking.
Just keep rocking, okay.
Nice pickups here from both these teams. Level 8, almost level 9 from Murloc Geniuses. They have almost a full level lead here, about to hit that level 9. Nice job, though, from Fan. He's doing a good job of soaking the experience with that symbiote whenever people aren't in lane.
The nice thing is, once they start to take down more of the walls in front of the forts, then it makes it a little bit scarier for Abathur, but Uther could be in some trouble here, going to walk through the Blizzard, but Erho and Zuna not content to chase too far underneath those towers.
The next tribute spawns in the top left of the map. Look at the mines here from Fan. Going to make it so hard for Murloc Geniuses to aggressively rotate through. Fury already in position, taking some damage from Kenma.
Yeah, I really like the safe rotations here. They know that those mines can be an issue, and especially now at 7 with that incredible slow. Here comes Erho into the fight. Fury trying to stop him from getting onto the damage dealer. Takes a ton of damage already. He could go down here. Here comes Faye in as well with a Haunting Blast to do some damage.
The Haunting Wave does interrupt that cap on Kenma, and they're about a quarter of a level away until they get level 10. Mad Timmy about to get the cap. Fury kind of afraid to zone out, though. I'd like to see him shove forward and force them back. The Frostbolt from Zuna doesn't connect. The dash in from Kenma, though, it gets stunned. The Gravity Lapse connects, and that's going to be the death of Jaina. Kenma in a bad spot as well. With that Breath of Heaven, can he keep himself alive? And he does, and that's going to be the first tribute going over for Murloc Geniuses.
1-1 in tributes, and they pick up their heroic abilities on top of it. Strafe, Howling Blast, or not Howling Blast, sorry, Wailing Arrow, Phoenix, and Mosh Pit, and Divine Shield as well.
Great pickups here coming out from Murloc Geniuses here, and they do have that Mosh Pit. If we look at the interrupts on the end of Bob Ross Fan Club, the only consistent ones they have is Spear from Sonya and Stormbolt from Muradin.
Yeah, that is a huge issue because they're going to be right in front too, and that's often right where you're going to see, it's going to be an easy place rather for ETC to just go in and try to capture both of them. Gets both of them, that's going to be very, very scary for Bob Ross.
Bob Ross has their level 10 now, though. It's going to be Ultimate Evolution on Abathur. That's going to be Avatar on Muradin, Wrath of Berserker on Sonya. Still no pickup from Kenma as he's trying to hide whether he's going to go 7 side strikes or Divine Palm. It's going to be Water Elemental on Jaina. And I love this shot calling from Zuna, guys. They've almost secured themselves this boss for free. Yeah, Murloc Geniuses doesn't even scout it out.
Yeah, now that's going to push just in time for the next tribute to spawn. Murloc's probably going to look to give it up. but they could also just go fight, but that means they're probably going to give up the fort, and that's really scary versus an Abathur to just give up so much free damage on structures.
Yeah, and Fan already burrowing. Actually, no, he did cancel it, so he's not going to go down there. The fight did start there. Zuna going for the cap. Can they get the interrupt? And Zuna's going to get it almost for free there. Urho does pop Avatar. Divine Palm was used on top of him, but he's not going to go low enough for that to proc.
Urho did get fairly low, but the Avatar really saving the day there. Love the Divine pickup, or Divine Palm pickup from Kinma. That's going to be really fun to see. The Giants will be helping to stave off this pressure from the boss, take them down a little bit faster, but still not really rotating. They don't want to give up a second boss for free. They know that strat. Murloc's pulled that strat earlier.
I love this choice here. I mean, they're willing to contest it because they did take those Siege Giants. Look how much damage those 2 Giants did to this boss. It's just about to go down. It might have enough damage to get the core Faye here just in time to clean it up, and I don't think the fort will actually fall. It's going to be very, very close, but no, Faye does end up saving that.
Need to be careful of rotations coming in. Fan has used the ultimate evolution on top of Jaina, and that's a pretty big win to have that be used and not too much happen. They were able to disengage from the fight, and Faye going to just start working right away on taking out some towers, looking toward their level 13 talents.
Yeah, very close to that, about half a level to go until Murloc Genius is there. This next tribute will be a curse here for Bob Ross fan club. Sonya very far away as she is taking the Giants in the bottom right. McIntyre not going to be able to join the fight for a very long time here. I wonder if Bob Ross is going to be willing to contend that without Sonya.
Yeah, a bunch of heroic abilities down to Water Elemental, still 35 seconds. No ultimate evolution on top of that too. Avatar will be up pretty soon, but he might not even get to use it as a bunch of damage, and Muradin is eliminated. And with that, we're going to see Bob Ross start to move back, delay as long as possible still, but it will be a pickup for Murlocs.
What Bob Ross fan club is known for is the synergy between their crowd controls, but Murloc Genius is showing that because they've been a team for close to a year now, they have the same synergy. They were able to completely stun lock that Muradin before he could dwarf toss out and secure themselves that kill on Urho.
They're even going for the fort on top of that too. They have 13. Abathur with a really big push on bottom though, and on top of that some Siege Giants, so they do send Faye. So they are very, very split. They need to be careful about this rotation coming in. Here comes Kenma as well as the rest of the team.
There's an Avatar clone going down on Zuna, but Zuna gets caught and goes down immediately. Kenma not able to keep him alive. There's a mosh pit as well, and Divine Shield on ETC. Fury doing a great job with that positioning. Bob Ross with a great flank, but Murloc Genius just completely shut it down.
Still survives and takes out Jaina as well. McIntyre could be the next one. A great body block from Fury. Whirlwind trying to heal him back up. Here comes Urho into the fight. Wants to pick up the takedown on Cawthon Luck too. McIntyre trying to go out for him, but Fury and Timmy doing a really good job of denying that power slide to get ETC away.
Yeah, it was a good rotation from Urho to try and pressure him. They tried to push back into that fort without Equinox as he did go back to heal up and get more mana. Faye does rotate to the mid lane to help deal with these Knights as well. Not going to get those 2 towers down. Even experiencing still a full level in favor of Murloc Geniuses.
Yeah, and completely staved off the pressure from Abathur on bottom as well. So really great job from Murloc being able to, you know, we've seen this actually from them a couple of times. Even on Towers of Doom, they would send Faye as Zagara while the rest of them delayed and denied them from being able to do anything, and that's been really paying off for them.
Power slide onto Urho. He's getting blown up again. There's a Divine Palm, and it does connect. McIntyre goes for the spin. Urho pops Avatar last second. That's going to be the death of Fury. A big strafe coming out from Equinox, but Chain Bomb doing so much damage there, and Fan and McIntyre are going to fall, and Murloc Genius is trying to fight. The Gravity Lobs connects. Kenma's going to fall, and only Zuna stands. Murloc Genius is going to secure themselves the first curse of the game.
Those chain bombs were huge, and it totally turned. It looked so bad when they were able to get the Divine Palm, or so bad for Murloc Geniuses when the Divine Palm went off, and they immediately started to back off. Fury got really low. He did get taken out, but man, the chain bomb's able to wreck them through that chokehold.
Yeah, I thought it was over for Murloc Geniuses when ETC fell, but Uther fell shortly after that, and the heals from Ghost Uther were able to do a lot there. But Zuna trying to make plays with the Abathur hat here, catches Faye out of position, haunting wave over the wall, Water Elemental slow, doing a lot there, but the team rotates to save her.
Well, thankfully there weren't nests in that bush, as that would have been a big scare for Sylvanas now. Picking up the spell shield at 13 is going to help a lot though, and they're nearing level 16 talents on top of it, nearly a level up and a half ahead of Bob Ross.
Bob Ross being one of the fan favorites, one of the contenders to be the best team at this tournament, but Murloc Geniuses is doing a great job, and they have a 2-level lead as they're about to hit level 16.
Now this happened, remember, the last time we were on Cursed Hollow with them against Tempo, though. They had the early game. They need to make sure not to get too overly confident. They need to make sure to keep their heads in the game and watch out. Don't think that they've just won it.
Well, we have to see how they keep positioning here. Now, we saw the chain bombs from Coffin Luck in that last team fight there were beautiful, and you mix that now with 16 cold embrace from Sylvanas, you can do so much damage to that clumped up front line.
Oh, yeah.
With the Abathur clone being mixed in with this death ball style from Murd and Zoia, that could be very, very devastating for Bob Ross.
Even with searing attacks from Vala and that amplified multi-shot build too. We have Hardened Focus for Uther. That's a pretty standard talent, I think, that we see when it comes to Mad Timmy. He really enjoys picking that up on Uther as well as the Malfurion. So it's going to allow him, as long as he stays nice and healthy, and he has generally not been the target of any attacks, to be able to continue to have more heals up.
Bob Ross look like one to contest the point as they just hit 16. Avatars used. They go onto the point. Fury trying to knock him out. A big straight from Equinox, but being zoned out by Zuna. Arcane Barrier used from Coffin Luck. Urho gets slow. That's going to be the death of Uther. Ghost Uther doing a lot to keep Fury up. And a big three-man mosh pit on the point. And that's going to be the death of Zuna. And that's going to be the death as well of the Urho there. But Kenma gets a nice Divine Palm. McIntyre getting low. Kenma's going to fall as well as Fade. It's a 2 versus 2. McIntyre trying to get away. Can Equinox secure the kill with a Hungering Arrow? The boss is pushing the top lane. Nice power slide. And 4 for 3 exchange in favor of Murloc.
Oh, there's so many mines here. They need to be so careful, though. Equinox is fairly low and does not need to run into any of them. There will do a ton of damage. Good job being able to realize that that was going to be there. And now pushing with this boss, wanting to look toward the first keep of the game.
Talk about the build from Zuno real quick. I'm starting to love how Janus are playing. They're starting to be a lot more aggressive. What was the go-tos before were Ice Block as well as the Numbing Blast for that root, but now we're seeing a lot more of the Icy Veins as well as Northern Exposure to just help secure those kills.
And even too with the Frost Shards as well as the Ice Lance, a lot of Frost Bolts to enable the Janus to be able to chase down people, keep them slowed while the rest of the team can get into position and come in with the stuns.
They were not able to secure that kill. I mean, they had to back off as a lot of the members of Bob Ross were about to res. They were only 2 members strong, but still a full level lead for Murloc. Geniuses here. They've almost secured themselves a keep here, but you have to keep in mind, it's not over for Bob Ross. They still only need 1 tribute here to get themselves a curse and try and make something happen.
Right, and with the curse later on, I mean, that is exactly what happened with Tempo Storm too. They got a later on curse and were able to put a lot of pressure onto structures. Now, the next tribute spawning is in a more defendable position for Murloc Geniuses, but we already have Bob Ross setting up in a really good spot for them. It could spell trouble.
Stormbolt connects with Uther, but not going to do much there. Fan gonna go ahead and use Ultimate Evolution on Jaina. Kenma going for the cap. Water Emerald has been used, and they are caught in a choke here. Nice knockback from Fury, and an interrupt from Mad Timmy over the wall. Kenma going for the cap again, trying to get him to team a curse. There's a Fury taking a lot of damage from that Northern Exposure. Equinox gets 1 more interrupt. A heal from Mad Timmy comes in, and a big straight, but that's going to be the death of Equinox there. Mad Timmy being body blocked by Urho and Fan, doing a good job there, but the Ultimate Evolution ends. Will Mad Timmy be able to get out of here? No, he's going to fall, and a curse for Bob Ross.
They cannot lose any more people because they need them to be able to defend here. And Bob Ross looking already at trying to take out potentially some towers here and let the minions just push onto the fort, allowing to help them out a little bit. But because this is such a later one and they know they're behind, they know that they need to catch back up in the experience, looking to do as much damage as possible with this curse.
12 kills to 8 in favor of Murloc Geniuses. It was a very hard angle for them to engage into. I think they might have just wanted to give that up. You do have a Sylvanas on your team. It is not impossible to deal with a curse with a Sylvanas, but here comes a big push coming out from Bob Ross. They go through the small wall as the fire supports him for fire, but there's a big 2-man mosh pit. Gravity Labs goes out. Koplock doing a lot of damage with the chain bomb. Fury getting very, very low. Wailing Arrow from Faye trying to do a lot of damage in the backline. Urho and McIntyre are so low, but they cannot secure any kills. Urho getting very, very low. Nice heals from Kenma to keep him topped off.
And they didn't get the keep. They got pushed back from the keep. Now it's not over though. There's still 12 seconds where Murloc Geniuses really need to keep their lanes pushed back as much as possible. They have lost off of their all of their forts, but keeping all of their keeps alive would be a very, very good for them at this point.
I want to give a big shout out to Fan here because he's been a good job of soaking those lanes with these symbiotes and pressuring them out to the point where Bob Ross hit 21st. They have those storm talents now.
And they want to try to continue in. They know this keep is already low. They know 23 seconds left until ETC will even be back on top of that. The front line for all of these damage dealers. They're going to push in those minions as much as possible. If they can keep Murlocs back in their base, that would be a nice thing for them too, as they can go and set up if a boss pops up a little bit faster.
We do see Locust Brew taken, as well as these constant push from Fan here in the top lane. This is such a stylistic play style from him, especially on Cursed Hollow. He's going to be constantly pressuring these lanes, and now almost all 3 of the keeps from Murloc Geniuses have been exposed.
We also have Peaceful Repose at level 20 for Karazim, which means if Murloc Geniuses can make sure not to proc that Divine Palm, then it will go on only a 5-second cooldown. So it's a lot easier, it's a lot nicer to have that sort of breathing room when it comes to the Divine Palm.
Gilly, Fury's hiding his level 20 talent.
I know.
He's waiting very patiently. Will it be Bolt of the
Tour
Storm?
bus?
Will it be the dash on the mosh pit as well?
Yeah.
Don't know what it's going to be the pick up there. He's waiting for the last minute to potentially try and catch Bob Ross off guard. Faye has to be careful though. Urho and Zuna are waiting to try and get a gank here.
Yeah, and they can see there's only one on the map, so it's only McIntyre looking to try to bait them out. So far, doing a really good job. There is the multi-shot to be able to
There's
show
the
that here
power
comes
slide, the
Fury.
knockback. Zuna getting low. Gravitas connects. Divine Palm goes out. It's going to save Zuna for now, but can he get out of there? He bolts to the storm out. A big straight from Eaglex. Eaglex goes in deep there, but did he overextend? Divine Shield from Bad Timmy. Going to keep him alive, and a big avatar from Urho.
We do have it's going to be Tour Bus or Death Mosh that was picked up by Fury, but able to get all the way away. It's going to be Death Metal. All right.
Death Metal, nice pick up there from Fury. They're looking to force this fight. Taking a look at the heroics were used there. Mosh Pit still up, but Divine Shield, Strafe, Wailing Arrow, and Phoenix were all used by Murloc Geniuses. It looks like only Water Elemental and Divine Palm. Well, actually, no, Avatar was popped as well. So a lot of heroics used on both ends.
Sonya just used Wrath of the Berserker 2 on this boss, but Murloc Geniuses are trading out the bosses too, so it will be a 1-for-1, both heading toward the keep on either side.
Let's see if we're going to see a base race here. If it comes down to a push, I mean, they have the advantage in the top lane because Abathur is already pushing in so far, but you have to keep in mind, Sylvanas from Faye can push so very hard, and it looks like Murloc Geniuses wants to go for the push. They might go all in the core.
She can totally shut down, and they realize this. Already going and backing. They're going to pick up this tribute, and then the rest are going to go back as well because they know that you just cannot contend with Sylvanas and the way she can shut down the structure and keep the boss healthy as it gets near to the core.
30 seconds on Wailing Arrow and Avatar before every heroic is up for both people. There goes the charge in from Fury. Gravitas connects with McIntyre, and there's the Divine Palm at the last second. Good job so far from Murloc Geniuses. A big straight from Equinox. Urho deep in the backline. The boss doesn't stun anyone, but now Urho, still without Avatar, is in a very scary position. A big mosh pit, Divine Shield, catching two people, and that's going to be death of Kenma. Can Murloc Geniuses close this out? McIntyre gets the spear out of the fight, and that's going to be the death of one of the members of Murloc Geniuses, but the boss still healthy. Will Murloc Geniuses go for the core? Matt Timmy looking like he wants to push in here. Fury bringing up the minion waves. They're going for it here. Urho does have Avatar. They take out Coffin. Look, did Murloc Geniuses make a mistake?
They trying to lead them into the stun from the boss, getting so incredibly low, trying to stay away as much as possible but deal the damage, but Matt, Timmy, and Faye are so low and both will fall. Only Fury remaining with the boss in the Carapace on top of it,
on the core. It's getting so low. The boss is about to fight. Uther has the rest. Can he do it? They will not be able to end it. The mosh pit at the end. It's 23%. Bob Ross holds, and Abathur is pushing the core of Murloc Geniuses.
Oh, and the boss about to take down the shield on top of this core. The rest of the members starting to head back. No, still 43 seconds until Sylvanas is up. A lot of the members not quite up yet. Vala will be up in 15, but can she hold versus this?
Urho and McIntyre moving across the map. GG, well played call from Fury. The boss is still happy, and with the failed bed race, Bob Ross Fan Club is gonna win the series.
They will move on into the lower bracket to face Team Blaze.
Wow, what an amazing matchup there. It was a great game from the start for Murloc Geniuses. They had the momentum in their control the entire game, but that boss core rush, I mean, it was great isolation on Kael'thas. They blew Coffin Luck there up at the end, and he did no damage to the core at all.
Yeah, and then from that too, Faye was already so incredibly low there too. Tried to bait them into the stun, but they would have none of it. She did even, I think, Haunting Wave over to the other side, but her health bar was so low, and then from there, Fury, ETC is just not going to do so much to the core there.
Great sportsmanship from these guys as Bob Ross Fan Club moves over to shake the hands of Murloc Geniuses. I mean, these guys have been a part of the scene for a very long time. Really great to see that, but Bob Ross is going to move on to the next round to play against Team Blaze, but our next match on the stream is going to be an exciting one.
Oh yes, it is. It's Cloud9 versus Tempo Storm in our winners bracket finals. Guys, don't go anywhere. That's going to be such an exciting match. We will see you soon.